Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
And welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning, right?
I am John Palacio.
And I'm April Martinez. Good
and thank
morning,
you for joining us this morning.
Yes. How are you, John?
Hot and spicy.
It's hot and spicy.
Hot and
it's
spicy.
cold. Were you there?
No, cold. Cold way.
It's cold outside.
I swear it's about what 70 degrees in the city. Let me check what's going on.
We'll check with the folks.
70 degrees at 5:30. It might be what 71 now.
It's cold,
when this change
John.
over. It's not cold, man. It's
if people
just
sleep
beautiful.
with their fans on, I wonder about someone.
6:30, 6 a.m. and it's 70 degrees in this city.
It's
maybe
cold.
about 65 of them upon 63 wrong Benke.
That's true.
That's what I'm seeing at
I
this
woke up
particular
this
point.
morning and I take off my blanket and I'm like, no, why? And I cover it back. No, it was.
Look, last night, we turned off the AC, of
Yes,
course.
and the fan.
Well, no, the fun had to come on last night because some reason or another we needed that no shake from the last call. No. No.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
It's a beautiful morning out, a Wednesday morning at that.
Yes.
We are trickling down to the end of
the
2022.
You ready?
I'm always ready. You know what? See, April. We must understand that the end of the day, the end of the bridge, the light at the end of the tunnel will be showing, or you'll be crossing the bridge. Look, I swear, like we need to. That's the focus, April. We will be crossing that bridge. We will be crossing that bridge. And if that bridge is supposed to cave in with us, then we've got a story to tell, or people who are witnessing will be able to tell the story.
Lessons learned.
Thus, keeping the others from meeting their demise. It wasn't their time, April. So
I challenged John for 2023.
What?
I'll challenge John to at least once a week write the eye opener. He does it so well. He does it so well. V, I think we could do that. We could challenge John for write the eye opener
it did say such thing.
once a week at least.
But for real, and that's the reason why. Because we must understand. Okay, 2023, life is about everything that waves. Where there's day and there's night. That's the wave. There's midday. That's the point. So so we see it like that. Not every day we're going to feel all right. Sometimes we'll feel low. That's the low point. But then we get to the high point. If you watch the bulb is blinking. You don't see it. But there's a low and a high. Oh my gosh.
Eye openers for John. That is my plight for 2023.
This is life, which brings us to what's buzzing. April, what's buzzing?
Buzzing. We're talking here about crossing over the bridge, crossing over certain things, lessons learned, making sure you have certain experiences. It wasn't your time, and that is how we segue into our what's buzzing for
exactly
today. Unfortunately, there were a few accidents and mishaps that happened over the weekend, and I don't really necessarily want to focus on particular accidents. I think I want to focus more on what we can gain from learning and understanding, which is preparedness, experiences. Right now in Belize, this is our high and peak season, so naturally
for the tourist season, yes.
And so naturally we're going to be having huge influxes of tourists coming into the country for the better part of next year up until March, April. And in times like these where you have so many persons coming in, taking all of these tours and so on, yes, you as the person that is taking them from point A to point B need to ensure their safety. Primarily, right? But also you need to ensure that you have everything in line, everything prepared, everything checked. And not just equipment. As we noted that on the weekend, it was because the river rose due to a lot of rain up in the mountains that trickled down, right? And somehow we say, that common sense is supposed to know that, but you know what? Sometimes we don't.
Sometimes we don't.
And that's okay, but at the end of the day, we need to be prepared. Caves that have water in them, once a little bit of rain, the water will increase. You know, and you could be an avid swimmer, you could be a professional swimmer, it doesn't matter. That life vessel can save your life. That life jacket can save your life.
April, well said. And I'm liking where we're going with the story. It's all about preparation.
Yeah.
And you're totally right. There's sometimes we might not know what the situation is 50 miles away. But remember, if it's raining in those mountains, chances are it will, not even chances.
It will.
The reality is that it will trickle down into the rivers, streams, lagoons, and then head on to the sea.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, I feel maybe they didn't, or they were not necessarily cognizant of what the situation was going to be like. Making their trek, coming back and noticing that the river is flooded. Now, what does this mean? This simply means that we need to do more preparation. Maybe you know, you're going in these areas, then you need a drone to see what's going on a few miles away, so you know exactly how to prepare. If you see that it's a few miles away, you know the duration from here to there. You know, so it boils down to preparation. It boils down to making sure that you've got the right equipment. I said something very important a while ago, and it's some of us will, and this, it's life, it's reality. Some people might take it with a grain of salt, or maybe some seriously, bitter. But at the same time, we must understand that, look, some folks will meet their demise. Some folks, it will boil down to that, so we're able to be better on the other side. We might not need it, but it is the reality of life, and we continue to see this on a daily basis, April.
I mean, one of his colleagues did make mention, and we're of course naturally talking about the drowning of the tour guide from Armenia that happened on Christmas
and
Eve.
Condolences,
and of
deepest
course,
condolences
to his family. I can't even imagine on Christmas Eve, John, no less. But one of his colleagues did make mention that, you know, it is mandatory that they take their equipment out. It is mandatory that they are able to, that they have to wear certain life jackets, and they have to take certain safety measures and lifesavers and so forth. And he said it, not all of them do it, even though they should, and even though it's mandatory.
Do you think that because of the complacency of being in these areas on a daily basis?
I think that when you get used to it, yes. I do believe that once you think that you're doing this for so long, every single day, that you will get complacent. Or you do have that tourist that says, I can
don't worry about it.
I don't need a, you know, and you as the tour guide, you are there to provide some level of hospitality. Right? But also, due to something like this, it's now more important than ever that you provide safety measures. I'm sure you're an avid swimmer, but please, for safety precaution, take a life jacket.
So again, preparation is the name of the game. You know, these things they do have a trickle-down effect on if tourists will want to come here. Belize is one of the best destinations, and 2022 actually saw a rise in. We're not necessarily where we were at 2019, but we've surpassed numbers between like when it was in comparison to this time around. We've surpassed numbers. We're always in first world media's eyes in terms of that's the place to go. Belize we want to go. Everybody's going there. This one, that one have told us about it. You ever you know, go somewhere and say, oh, I'm from Belize. Oh, I've heard about it. So it boils down to that, and these people are actually reading these news items. They're reading these news stories and say, I wonder about my safety. I'm going, one more thing. Jubril was here.
Yes.
You know, Jubril was here, and one of the things importantly that he made mention of, I don't remember the name of his show.
Passport Heavy.
Passport Heavy. And one of the things that he made mention of in summing things up is that Belize is one of those countries where if you're a single female or a single male, or more so a single female, that you're able to still go and feel safe in this country. These are some of the things that people look forward to, because not everybody wants to go somewhere with a lot of people. They want to just say, I just want to go. And then you've got people like Jubril telling you, hey, you could go to Belize. But preparation and what's in the news, these people read these things before they make their way over here. So it's a trickle-down effect. That's my point.
I agree. And as more and more tourists come to our country between now, because it's the winter time
over there.
Right?
And it's the winter is crazy right now. There's a big storm.
Yes. And so we want to be able to, they're coming down. They're coming down for some sun and hot temperatures, even though I think equal and John says it's not. But the reality is that we're going to be having a lot of tourists coming in. This is our peak season. And in order for us to provide the best possible experience, we have to be safe.
Exactly, exactly. Motivation at its best, and I love it. You know, that's one of the things I love most about being on here, is to enlighten you as we enlighten ourselves. This is a big encyclopedia, man. I tell you, you ever read an encyclopedia? You look up things in an encyclopedia?
Yes, we have to.
Yeah, yeah. So this is one of those.
Yeah.
So we get to learn new things, and of course we get to dispense new things to you. But primarily, and I always say this, and I think about it a lot, have the conversation with your peers. It's important, because once we bounce ideas around, that's how we
When we get
learn.
off this show, how often do you go back and repeat some of our conversations to the person?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day, because, you know, you'll be asked.
Yeah.
You'll be asked about who was on and whatnot, and then you dispense what you've learned, your learnings. And when you dispense what you've learned, it becomes wisdom to you, then it becomes knowledge to somebody else. You know, so that's every day. Every day.
Okay.
Every day.
Okay.
That's right.
As we move on, as John continues to motivate you every day.
Yes, we continue to motivate you every day as you continue to motivate us. All right, it's a
Two-way street.
It's a two-way street. There you go. This girl. But anyways, it's time for the morning where we take a look at the eye opener, and the eye opener taken from dailyarm.com goes like this. April, you're gonna love this. When the world is in chaos, we can still have our own inner peace and maintain a sense of calm in the sea of unrest. People who maintain their sense of calm when things around them are in a state of flux and confusion are always wonderful to be around. We feel calmer just being near them, as if they have activated our own sense of inner peace. From them, we learn that we can be calm even when things around us is in turmoil, because we know that no matter what happens, this inner sense of calm will help us to function well. Often, times of confusion are the times that enable us to find that part of ourselves that knows how to cope and how to be a light to others in the storm. It helps to remember that we don't need to completely understand what's happening right now, nor do we need to be able to predict the future. Most of us just want to find our way to being at peace with whatever happens, and we can find this peace inside. Cultivating our inner clarity with meditation, journaling, and reading words that inspire us will lead us to that place inside us that's already there, just waiting.
When the world is in chaos, we can still have our own inner peace and maintain a sense of calm. That is, I think, something that happens through experience. It's very, very easy to give in to the chaos because you're not really sure how to handle certain turmoils. In certain cases, you lost your job. The world is in chaos because you are feeling the effects of the economy now. How do you stay with your inner peace with something like that? You lost a loved one. The world is in chaos. How do you maintain inner peace with that? We're in a recession. How do you maintain inner peace?
We're at a standstill with coronavirus. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to go. People lost their jobs. People were at home because of because of the lockdown and whatnot. April, that is chaotic. That is chaotic. And one of the things that we didn't see is how great people could bounce back by having new businesses and whatnot. We didn't see it there because we were not focusing at the farther end. But you know why I bring that up, April? I bring that up because it happens at a snip of a finger. Bam, and everything stopped. And because the world wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
The world was not ready for it. But there were a few people who actually saw a way out. Because of the cognizance of these things will eventually go back to dormancy. Nothing just stay real like that, except maybe air.
I think that 8 billion people on the planet, we all went through something extremely traumatizing. And I do believe that there were a lot of resilient persons out there. I do believe there are a lot of people that were calm during this time. But I don't think we focused on that enough. I don't, as much as we come here, we talk about it, we talk about small business growth and so forth, I don't think that we focused more on like the good news of the world. And I do think that in a world where there's so much chaos, you have to try to find the good news. You have to talk about it, you have to emphasize about it, because the world will continue to be chaotic. Today I'll be one person to do this bad thing, tomorrow it's going to be another person doing this bad thing.
Second, April.
Let's try
Every second.
to find the good news in this chaotic world.
One of the things that I like that it alluded to from when, something about when, okay, people who maintain their sense of calm when things around them are in a state of flux and confusion are always wonderful to be around. And it brings me to that bus, that bus driver story. I'm sure you know you heard that story there yet.
No.
I'm sure, but I'll share it with you. You're in a bus. The driver of this bus is going down, you know, maybe at mile 25 on the George Price Highway, and there was a near collision, and that bus driver freaked out because there was a near collision. The next time you're heading back from Belmopan and that bus driver is in that bus, will you ride that bus because he freaked out?
No.
Good. Simply because you're not, he didn't give you a sense of calm. But you're in this bus, and this driver is at mile 25, and there was a near collision, and that driver just bring everything back and just continue to smile, put his music up and just continue to bounce and know that, you know what, I'm taking all these curves as best as possible. Coming back from Belmopan, will you ride along with that driver?
Yeah.
State of calm, this is what I'm saying.
You trust in yourself and people
trust in yourself. There are a lot of people like this. Find these people. If you feel that you're at a state of calm around these people, those are the people you want to channel your energy to or from.
I don't tell you I cipher. I don't tell you I cipher peaceful, calm energy from John every time.
Well, you know what? Let's look for peaceful and calm energy in the weather. What do you say we do that? Huh? We hope you learned from the eye opener. But the weather folks are not on the line. They're not on the line. But we'll be getting them shortly.
Dan, come to tell you that I was right and that it's going to be cold for today and tomorrow.
It's going to be. Oh, so we're going to read it? You're just telling me. Oh, it's on there? All right, let's see. It's not on there. It's not on there. Yeah. I guess we could do that too.
We could read the weather.
We could do that too. As soon as we get the sign, there we go. All right, we're going to give you a wait sign.
No, but I do think that it's going to continue to remain cool.
You think
as far as, I think Francesca told us last week.
Francisca, and I think that, who's on there? Chief is on there. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
There we go. Hey, Chief, morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing?
We are doing great.
I love this cool weather.
Yeah, say April loved the cool weather. I love it too. But let's get on into it. Tell us about the general situation and what should we expect from there.
Okay, conditions have become moist again as the remnant of the cold front is now drifting back on us. And so for today we can expect cloudy skies with some light rain and a few showers mainly over the coast and northern districts.
All right.
Tonight skies cloudy at times with a few showers mainly over the north.
All right, so that's the 24-hour forecast. So let's talk about the winds then, and where should we be feeling these winds from, and what, how they'll be affecting the temperatures?
Okay, winds today. Winds will be northerly to northeasterly, 10 to 20 knots, with occasional higher gusts, but you might not feel those higher gusts unless you're way out at sea. Seas moderate, becoming rough at times, and operators of small crafts are advised to exercise caution.
All right. Temperatures for today, highs and lows?
Okay, 78 Fahrenheit along the coast, 82 inland, 74 up in the mountains. Lows tonight, 74 along the coast, 70 inland, 64 up in the mountains.
Sweet. And the extended forecast, what should we expect trickling down into the weekend?
Okay, improvement, warmer weather. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, mainly fair with only isolated showers. The next few days, similar thing, and warming up.
That means rain for New Year, just like we rain for Christmas.
Rain for New Year?
We don't think so at this time.
Thanks, Chief.
Chief, thank you so very much. Wishing you a great day.
You're welcome, and same to you.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, rain.
Well, man, make you know. And they're the professionals. They know
Maybe.
exactly what to expect. And say, you know what, we don't think so.
Maybe.
So a lot of these New Year's Eve parties is supposed to be...
I mean, rain not stop the reggae jam, so regardless if it rains or not, people
what
are
if,
still going
you know,
to
you say
have
rain
their-
not stop the reggae jam, but what if I want to listen to Azules Asaceres or somebody band name? Azules, Los Angeles Azules. That's not reggae.
I'm judging you just a little bit.
We've got a packed show lined up for you this morning, and the first segment is going to be about contraband. You know, people need to understand how dangerous this is to our economy. So, and then again, shipping is famous in our country, especially during Christmas holidays. And representatives from the Customs and Excise Department will be joining us this morning to chit-chat about that and some contraband.
All right, and of course, our second conversation, drag racing, John. Have you ever done it before? Huh? Drag racing.
Look, I think the dragest race I ever done through the Hummingbird.
Well, we're going to be having members from the Club Motorsports to talk to us about how common it actually is in Belize and some of the safety guidelines about
This
it.
is a great conversation because I didn't know it was common, but we'll be chit-chatting about that, and then we'll be ending things off this morning with jewelry for the new year.
Yes.
Of course, the new year is coming in, and a lot of things will be happening, and some folks might want a bling. And then again, these are meaningful gifts that Belizeans are actually making, and so we'll tell you exactly how to, what to, when to, and where to, right here on this show in our third segment.
And of course, before we get into all of that and more, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back and we'll be talking all about shipping and contraband. Stay tuned.
Let's celebrate Christmas together with Smart's amazing season deals. Check out our showrooms and get deals for as low as $99 and get free credit, SMS, and data. If you already have a phone, you can join the Smart family. Swap your SIM and get a free SIM plus $100 promo credit. Get 50% off your first and second month when you sign up for selected postpaid plans. That's a promotion you know I miss. Free not done with Smart. Get free installation and 1 month free when switching from another internet provider. Plus, with every SIM swap, device purchase, broadband or postpaid sign up, you automatically get entered into our raffle for a chance to win a Samsung S22, a year free smart broadband, or $500 cash. Make it one Christmas together, only with Smart. Smart management and staff, thank you tremendously for all the love you shared during the year. We look forward to serving you as you power your dollar in 2023.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And make I tell you one secret. It don't matter if you were naughty or nice, you will always get the best prices on all of the hottest tech gadgets when you shop at Cellular World this Christmas. We have gift options to suit every budget. Phones start as low as $49. Samsung phones backed up by a year warranty start at only $299. Kids tablets start at $149. Bluetooth speakers start at only $39 and so much more. Whether you're looking for a phone, laptop, desktop, smart TV, gaming device, tablet, speaker, earbud, or business product, Cellular World is your #1 technology gift shop. Visit us at any of our stores in Belize City, Belmopan, or San Pedro, or shop virtually via our virtual store on Facebook and Instagram. Spread love, share joy, and have a Merry Christmas when you shop at Cellular World.
We have breaking news from Channel 5 on Coney Drive. I repeat, we can confirm that the delivery of this Christmas package is almost complete. The most critical phase is about to commence. That is, getting it delivered in time.
May the gift of peace, the gift of joy, shine bright for you and your loved ones this Christmas and in the new year.
Hola usuario de eCash, la aplicación eCash está disponible en español. Cambiar el idioma de tu aplicación de eCash de inglés a español es rápido y sencillo. Déjame mostrarte cómo se hace. Primero, abre tu aplicación eCash. Introduce tu PIN. Toca el icono More en la parte inferior de tu pantalla. Selecciona Security. Selecciona Language. Y luego selecciona Spanish. Vuelve a introducir tu PIN y ya está. Tu aplicación de eCash está ahora en español y puedes seguir disfrutando de tu cartera digital eCash. La aplicación eCash de Belize Bank te hace la vida más fácil.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes, and we're moving now into our first segment for the morning. And this one is all about, the customs. It's about, shipping and bringing in goods, and then what is not contraband. And I feel that we've got the pros in to tell us all about it. As a matter of fact, in to tell us all about it, Lawrence Thompson, he's the Deputy Controller, Customs and Excise, and Jason Menzies, Assistant Controller, Customs and Excise. Guys, good morning. Good morning and welcome.
Morning.
It's nice to have you in. You know how long I don't sit down with some customs?
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, but sometimes we want to hear from there too. Once again, guys, good morning and welcome. And it's nice to have you guys in. Let's talk about this. I think it's one of the biggest problems in our country. I think somewhere around $10 million lost when it comes to contraband goods. What is contraband, by the way? Anybody, Jumpy.
Well, good morning. You're right. We're not here enough, and I think that is something that we need to fix.
2023, they're on the corner.
Correct.
All right.
So, contraband or smuggling and contraband is basically the clandestine movement of goods.
Yes.
Now, we all would appreciate that smuggling is not just yesterday thing.
Yeah.
It's been happening from time immemorial. From the time there are taxes and trade restrictions, people find how to move around the laws. In Belize, it's no different. The contraband in Belize, if I could just coin this in as simple as I can, takes two ways. And within these two ways, the ways in which the contraband, you have different variances, but you have running of goods across the border. That's one way, right? And then you have another way where the concealment of goods through unlikely places in aircraft, in motor vehicles, in baggage, on person. So this is how all these things happen, and we have very, very creative people, in many, many creative ways to try to circumvent customs, and it's a huge problem in Belize.
Why don't we think it's an illegal process? And I say that to the average person that go across the Melcher, get one liquid, and come back over. Why don't we feel like that is an illegal thing to do?
Well, nobody like giving anything without receiving, and that's what taxes are. All right, you pay taxes, but you think you don't get nothing back, but actually you get a lot back. Significantly. Yes. And people will always want to, the commodities that are carry a high tax, these are the commodities where sometimes people tend to want to contraband more.
Or smuggle it.
Right? These alcohol beverage, like you mentioned, the alcoholic beverages, these things carry taxes that are high, and for good reason, because it messed up your health. It affects a lot of homes, which could be another topic, but not for customs. But people find ways, and sometimes their smuggling of different commodities doesn't make any sense, and perhaps that's because they're not properly informed as to the restrictions and prohibition of goods, what is restricted, what is not restricted. And so in my experience, and I'm sure in many other officers' experience, we find where people would hide commodities that they don't necessarily need to hide. And they do it because they're not informed properly, you know, and perhaps it's just a way of life for them as well.
But you know, which brings me into the buying process and the fact that we need to continue to more hear about what is prohibited and what is not, because like you mentioned, and people do it every day, hide things where they don't necessarily have to hide because they're not cognizant of. But these information, you know, while it's readily available, people would want to continue to hear it more from the authorities. It's not that you want us doing. I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just saying. But when it comes to this whole ring, because I feel that is what it is at this particular point. How is the Customs Department dealing with it? Because, and this is the important part of the Customs Department, of trying to safeguard our economy, and people don't see it like that. What's going on, or how is that being derailed at this point?
Yeah, well, like you rightly said, customs is a key player in the socio-economic development of this country. We contribute tremendously to revenue, to trade facilitation, to border security through our border controls. And so we have a very important role in this entire country when it comes to this socio-economic development. So what Customs is doing, Customs is taking contraband very seriously.
Yes.
We recognize the threats that are out there with the different types of contraband, coming from consumer goods to drugs to other prohibition and restricted goods. And so what we have done and what we are continue enhancing is our border controls. And we do that through our risk-based compliance management program, which has several key areas that we look at. One of them is the legislation. And so we have a legislation that is robust, that complements and give the authority to customs and customs officers to conduct searches and to intercept and identify, prosecute these type of activities. And so the legislation is there, and we also have what is, but along with the legislation, there needs to be administrative processes and systems.
Yes.
And so what we have done in that component of this compliance management system is we are now coordinating our efforts with other national law enforcement agencies and even our regional international partners or counterparts to stem the flow of contraband. You see, contraband is to fight contraband, it's not just the documentary demonstrated how our guys out there, the rough, you know, that's the operational part of it, but there's also a component where we do risk analysis to identify where the high risk are, where the low risk are, and how to treat the different areas. And so the administrative component is working along our partners, our local law enforcement, to streamline our communication and collaboration so we can share information. So what is a custom threat is also a police threat, is also a environmental threat, is also a cultural heritage threat.
Yeah.
And so we definitely need to strengthen our collaboration more, but we have done that tremendously.
Let's talk preventative measures, and it's just because you mentioned that it's not necessarily the thing, but it's the action that leads to contraband. And so if I am somebody that frequents the borders, I go, I travel, I come in, how do I then do it the right way? What is the legal process for me to start bringing in goods and services into the country?
Yeah. First thing is don't hide it.
Well.
All right. Declare your goods.
Okay.
So it's a simple process. You're importing any commodity, you declare it to customs.
Yeah.
Customs do the assessment. The assessment is based whether on ad valorem, or the value of the goods, or if it's specific, if we're talking about alcoholic beverages, which is by the quantity of the alcohol, by gallonage or what have you. And so declare your goods. That's as simple as it is. Declare your goods, and the process will flow through where the assessment will be made based on our national tariff, and you pay necessary duties and taxes. If there's a restriction, you need to have your necessary permits. If there is an agricultural product, an environmental product that affects the environment, or any health or pharmaceutical products, all these things require some form of permit from the different regulatory agencies, recognizing that customs is not necessarily the authority on these restrictions. In fact, we do an agency duty for the Ministry of Agriculture, the Health Department, the Environmental Department, and many other government agencies that have some restriction or prohibition on commodities.
Jamie, I'll get you in shortly. But I just wanted, because very important that you made mention of this, and I'm so glad for that question, because people might not understand how important it is for them to declare. They want to hide. Now, if I'm bringing in a commodity that is prohibited, and I decide, you know what, yes, I'll just pass it on. Maybe I didn't know, and I am going to pass this through with comparison to just smuggle it in and I get busted. Let's talk about that. And I feel this is important because a lot of people take it for granted. We just run from the side, but they don't know they're breaking the law. They don't know, or they know that they're breaking the law, but they don't necessarily know the penalty and what comes with that. So let's talk about that so people could understand how important that is.
Yeah. Well, so there are stiff penalties in the customs regulation regarding contraband. You know, you could, if you have prohibited items, by the way, cannot come in. You will not be able to enter a prohibited item. A restricted commodity, if you, to answer your question, the first one, a restricted commodity that requires an import permit, what customs would ordinarily do is advise the importer, the person bringing in the goods, that this is restricted, and guide them as much as we can to the direction where that the government agency issued that permit, and then they would then need to do the necessary
paperwork for that.
For those commodities. With regards to the penalties are, as I said, very severe. You get caught with a box of Coetes, a box of dynamite. You know, our fine is 3 times the market value. This is where it starts.
Only 3 times.
Or $20,000.
Oh.
Whichever is more. All right. So if the Coetes value is $300, 3 times $900, your fine is $20,000.
Wow.
I think you just shut down a whole bunch of New Year's parties.
But people need to understand, and this is the reason why I'm glad that you guys are here, because being cognizant of will eventually prohibit, you know what, we don't need to do this, because we don't want to be fined at $20,000.
You know what happened a lot of times?
Sure.
You see, we are aware, and we mitigate the fine. Underneath the regulation, the customs regulation, the comptroller has the authority to mitigate fines. And this is what we call an out-of-court settlement. And so we do not take you to court, but you accept your guilt. When we do the necessary paperwork and you sign for a fine, that would at times be below the $20,000, where the comptroller can authorize that. And so we look at these intercepts on a case-by-case basis. And so we have what is called a client segmentation, where depending on under the client segmentation, there are several layers of the level or the client category that I say client. Ordinarily, the person coming over from Botes would not be considered a client. Ordinarily, the traders would be a customs client. All right, the one coming over Botes and the other hotspot areas, as we call them,
smugglers.
Those are smugglers. But we would still coin them into this category, because sometimes even those individuals coming through that point might not even be aware that what they're doing can have significant impact with regards to the financial impact that they have with the fine. And so You have those who are compliant, are compliant traders, are compliant clients. And so these individuals will be treated, but there are times when they might make some error in their declaration. And so you cannot be draconian with the application of customs regulation and fines if you have a history of being compliant and you make a mistake of perhaps, let's say, a classification error or a data entry error. So with these type of traders, what we do is we try to we guide them, we inform them of what the proper process is. So these are the ones who are compliant traders.
But for a good like Pop Shot and Quetes and so forth, the good itself is not necessarily illegal. Yes?
Pop Shot?
Uh-huh.
If it's not issued with an import permit from the goods and dangerous goods from the police department, then it will be
illegal.
Yes, it's a restricted commodity. The police has the authority on that initially.
I wanted to get into the shipping conversation because just talking about what to bring, what not to bring, what measures to take. I think it was about last week or so, there was a little bit of an issue with shipping coming into Belize. Let's talk about the process that it would take to bring in goods from point A to point B into Belize, and then how you declare yourself as somebody that is a part of the shipping companies. What happened for this backup last week?
Oh, that the goods got backed up.
And then how does it work so that we don't get goods backed up?
It's regularly, custom gets thrown under the bus that the goods are stuck in customs. Goods don't get stuck in customs.
Okay.
All right? There's a process, there's a supply chain. It has to do with the volume of goods moved by the shipping company. It has to do with offloading containers. It has to do with equipment at the port. It has to do with the efficiency of releasing containers from the port. Once the containers are out, then customs takes over. All right. Of course, there are customs processes that regulate how it comes out of the port.
Yes.
But nothing is stuck at customs or in customs. All right. Once it comes out, there are different classifications of commodities. So you have commercial transactions, and you also have, I guess, what creates this frenzy or this alarm where you hear all the buzz about goods stuck in customs, what we cargo consolidators of personal goods and barrel and box, right?
Yes.
So there's one consolidator. He declares for his client. The container goes to either to the premises or to the customs shed where it's checked. Right? If the declarations are all forthcoming, those goods flow. But what happens sometimes is that commercial shipments are broken down. And upon examination, customs finds, okay, these are commercial goods. And I don't want to say it's a false declaration, but it might be a vague declaration. So those are the goods that are held, and then the consolidator is informed, hey, this is a commercial shipment, this declaration needs to be amended, and that creates delays.
Oh, there we go, clarity.
Yeah, but then so for these incidents to not occur, I am a new person that is shipping from Canada to Belize. How do I make sure that all of my goods are declared so that they get to Belize on time?
Now, what's the process?
Okay, so again, if you're a consolidator and you're shipping with this consolidator, we can't necessarily tell you how to run your business. All right, we try to say, hey, this is the expectation, this would be best practice, but if you choose not to do that, and your declaration, you make your declaration, and upon examination, we find that your declaration is inaccurate consistently. Back to exactly what the Deputy Comptroller said. You are non-compliant, and based on our risk assessment, you will have even further intervention. So your examinations are going to be more detailed. All right. We do advise the consolidators use this pattern. But that's not a part of our regulations. We can't, making the declaration, you know what's there, you make your declaration.
Yes.
Right? We don't regulate your company.
What happens during the holiday season? Because this is the time when everybody to send box and barrel.
Like this is the high season.
This is the high season where people feel like they're not getting their goods on time. There's so many persons coming through. There's so many shipping companies coming through. What's the
and the blame is customs.
And the blame is customs, right?
Of course, everything falls on customs.
Right.
And we have broad shoulder. We have competent people on the ground to address all these issues. But to add to what the Assistant Comptroller mentioned, for you to have a smooth flow within customs process, trade supply chain does not start or end in Belize. It starts at your exporter, your supplier. It starts at, it continues along the trade supply chain continuum all the way through to your shipper, your handler, your broker, your trucker in Belize, your storage, your warehouse manager. All these individuals play a key role in ensuring your level of compliance with customs. Because you could be an importer, a company, and you have a store manager or a logistics manager or a procurement manager, or whatever you have, whatever you call them. And you might not be aware that they are making orders for consignment and having duplicate invoice and sending the invoice with lesser value to customs. Because customs is about value. It's about paying duties on value. And so to evade customs, which is a part of smuggling as well,
which is also prohibited,
you depreciate the value of your goods so that you can benefit through less taxes.
Right.
All right? That is illegal. And so if that happens from your supplier, whether your supplier and your store manager have that arrangement, or you and your supplier have that arrangement, this is where it gets complicated, and this is where the delays happen. Because customs is about compliance. It's about verification of your documentary declaration at first. That's the first layer. Actually, besides I mentioned the legislative component, the administrative component. The next component after that is the risk management component, which ties into the entire risk-based compliance management program. So with the risk management component is where the data that you provide to customs has a Secuda system, which is a data bank for trade information. So we use that information to develop risk profiles and risk targeting criteria, so based on your amount of importation and your history. And so based on your history now, it depends, your trends and patterns are developed. And so if you have a trend or a pattern of having values that are below an accepted threshold, then you become part of a list of individuals that will be targeted for customs intervention.
So no matter, so after I start to do a better process, do my due diligence, do I get off that list?
Of course.
Okay.
And so you do not stay on that forever. Actually, the entire purpose of this risk-based compliance management program is to steer the client community into being compliant. You could be at the end of the categorization of these clients. You have the individual or the trader or the person who is deliberately compliant. If we could picture this as a triangle, all right? At the tip of this triangle is a very small component. With these, the majority of traders are compliant, you know. You have a small group of traders or importers or individuals who would want to evade customs. And so we cannot treat everybody with the same spoon that we treat these individuals. And so when you're non-compliant, this is where the enforcement component comes in, the investigation component comes in, the risk profile component comes in. And so now you get targeted over and over, and you get what is called a red lane selectivity.
But that's a situation you bestowed upon yourself.
Correct. Correct. We do not we do not tell you that you're we do not just tell you that you're non-compliant. It has to be some history there. unless you're a first-time importer and we do not know your history. So if we do not know your history, then you cannot be compliant either.
Yeah. But let me very important, because we want for everybody to be compliant when it comes to dealing with this, because it is a trickle-down effect. We're dealing with the economy here, and like you mentioned, customs is one of the biggest players in making sure that our economy is going great, right? Are there regular meetings or one-on-one with these people who are actually importers, so that they know that, hey, this have changed, or we're trying to instill this, or we're trying to put this in so that it's a better or smoother flow?
Yes, we do have communication with the Brokers Association, because most declarations are funneled through customs, through a customs broker. And so customs have a good communication with the Brokers Association. And we have communication also with traders.
Okay.
We have a trade unit that does all this communication with the different sectors of the trading communities to guide them and to give them and keep them informed, so that they can provide the necessary documentation to customs. It's part of a trade facilitation component, where traders and anybody who come in contact with customs need to be informed of the processes and the systems, and it's sort of a predictability, being predictable. Customs want to be predictable. We want people to understand. Of course, there are different areas where we can strengthen, that we need to strengthen. You mentioned as we started this conversation here this morning, is that you don't see us, and I will agree with you. We're not an agency that push itself out there and have on the media us outlining all this. We need to do more of that.
Which leads me to, and I want to get Jane on this, because I think his wishes to come true, most of the thing directed here. But Jane, people feel that as long as it crosses the border, or as long as they cross the border with whatever item, prohibited or not, then they're off the line. They're off the hook. They could actually do what they feel now and whatnot. Are customs only at the border points? Or there are times when we go into different areas and see what to, how to, when to?
Customs is not only at the border point. We have custom units who their dedicated job is not at the border. Also, we work, like I said, a lot of what we do, it's agency duties. So we work with other agencies, supplies control, for instance. If they see something where they have licensed a certain amount of a commodity, or a particular brand of a commodity, and something similar but not what they license is on the market, they contact customs, and customs is going to say, okay, how did this come in? We will search and see our database. Do we have any records of this? And we work in coordination with them so that they can affect their seizures. But we also, using warrants, going to certain premises, try to stem the flow of that. But the general public is not going to most people won't have contact with customs.
Unless you're a smuggler.
Well, I wanted to get into a conversation that I think that a lot of persons believe then. What happens to their goods and so forth after they've been taken away and so on. And yes, we kind of shed some light on it during the documentary that we did, the investigative piece that we did last week. But more so the idea of corruption between certain customs officers and borders, particularly when you bring in a certain item and you know you're not supposed to bring it in and you pay off somebody. You know, that is something that a lot of persons are aware of. It's not a conversation that I think people like to have, but also it comes back to, well, then take my goods, and so they're going to go home with it.
Yeah.
Right? I know, but just to clear the air and to clarify, how are customs officers trained when they find goods that, you know, maybe we're not supposed to have? And how are you all aware of the goods that the officers take each and every single day after they've found something they're not supposed to have?
Yeah. So you're right. Corruption is a topic that a lot of people don't like to address. I like to take the bull by the horn and call a spade when it's a spade. You know, like many other institutions, customs is, we have the human element, the people that are within this organization, and we have weaknesses that we definitely need to strengthen, you know, and so we take very seriously seizures of people, of the property from people. That is a serious thing that I and the comptroller and the team recognize as a very important area that needed to be addressed. And so we ensured that every single officer, the Assistant Comptroller mentioned, we have enforcement teams that are national, from north to south, and they are responsible for enforcement and seizures. The border officers are also responsible for this enforcement and seizures as well, because they do seizures at the ports of entry. So their responsibility is to record, account, and store, and dispose properly on the advice of myself and the comptroller how to dispose these commodities. And so we keep account of every single commodity that they come in contact with, or that they seize from or detain from an individual. And every detention should be followed with a custody receipt. That is an instruction. That is a policy to every officer on the ground. Whenever there's a seizure, they need to ensure that they document. And there are instances when an owner cannot be identified. It should still be documented and stored. And there are audits that are conducted on regular intervals to audit what you have documented, what is in storage, what has been disposed of, the means of disposal, and so on and so forth. And there's also those commodities that are donated to different charity organizations or different feeding programs and so on. All these are documented. So we have a system in place that accounts for these commodities. Do we need to strengthen it? Of course we need to strengthen everything. Our entire approach to modern customs is to continuously strengthen our infrastructure, strengthen our institution to make it as robust as possible. Belize is a very small country, and corruption is something that goes both ways. There's a corrupt trader or a person, and it takes two to have that going. If a customs officer approach a trader or a person and wants to engage in some illicit activity, and the trader or person agrees, then that's where we have issues. What I emphasize is for individuals and traders not to engage in these activities, to stem that. And if you see, the thing is that benefits come to these people when this exists, and to curb this, we need to sensitize people more, as you had mentioned earlier, to bring this awareness of how corruption is affecting this country, how corruption is affecting our institutions, not only with customs, but in different facets of Belize society.
Yeah, you know, in the interest of time, definitely. I think one of the things people need to understand is the importance of them paying their taxes and the fact that it trickles down for us to have a better economy. I feel that is where people need to focus on more. Very important we touch on the topic of corruption, simply because, like you mentioned, it is a two-way street, and people need to understand that as well. And I complain, I say, oh, that one they corrupted, but you are too, because you're actually accepting and allowing it. Now, with the interest of time, for people who like to, you know, you want to wait for last minute to get things in. And I tell you, last minute means that you want to add November for December. So let's talk about high seasons within the customs department, or how people could actually make it better for themselves, rather than having to blame the customs department that you hold up my thing, but at the same time you ordered it late. Let's talk about high seasons, low seasons, and when it's best for you to bring something in, if that is what you want.
Yeah. Well, plan. Planning. It starts with planning. I mean, sometimes you wait for the sales. You wait for the
Black Friday.
Black Friday sales, which is, you know, and so, but plan and ensure that you have all your documentation.
Yeah.
Submit your invoices. If you don't have your invoices, it will delay a lot of things, because if it's come through a consolidator and then the consolidator don't have that invoice, they have to contact you, your goods will be detained.
Yeah.
So if you provide the necessary invoices and the declarations to customs, your goods will be smooth sailing through customs and you will not have any delay. So the important thing is to provide all prerequisite documentation, whether it's a permit, your invoice definitely, and you should not have any issues with customs.
So plan ahead of time. Don't wait till Black Friday. Your sales throughout the entire year.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to point out something if I'm allowed. Concerning the segment and seeing I saw some of the comments made on social media as taking the goods from the people off the bus. And I just wanted to point this out because this has been happening for years, that there are more bus runs from Orange Walk Town to the village of Santa Cruz, which I believe the population is definitely under 500 people, than there are to Belize City, which I guess the population now would be about 70,000 people.
Yes.
And the same people ride the bus on every run. So the same people going to the village 8 or 10 times a day, bringing out small bags. So when it's seen that custom takes these little bags, that is one bag out of 8, because they're going to go back again. But this is never seen. All right. So I just wanted to point that out.
No, I'm glad you did. I mean, well, we did say that corruption begets corruption, right? If you are engaging in this kind of illegal activity, there will be consequences.
No, well, it was seen as somewhat oppressive to the innocent person trying to stretch their dollar, but I wanted to point out that this is actually a business, that these persons, their job is to ride the bus 8 times for the day, bringing out 8 bags.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah. 8 bags to make up one sack.
They get paid for it.
And exactly, that is their job. They're not doing it like subsistence to use the goods. Yeah. All right. I just wanted to point out.
And exactly, because people stone the police department too, because they see 1 or 2 things and stuff, but they never see what the good that the police officers are actually doing for them. It's the same like the customs department. So I don't blame you. Make people understand.
But then
once you see we're taking away 1 bag from these people, trust me, they 8, 9 to come back now. So, but it's for us.
Up.
Exactly.
And this is why it's good that they come back.
Exactly. And I'd hope that you guys come back, because I feel one of the things that we need to eventually get on is the calculation of how you calculate your goods. So people are coming from states and they ask you, what are the costs of your amount of stuff? And then you'd put, that's only $100, when in reality it might not be. So people need to understand the calculation. But with the interest of times, guys, we're so grateful that you were able to join us this morning. Thank you. One final tip?
Yes. Just let me just impress on the shopkeepers who are buying these contraband. In fact, I want to strenuously impress on them that they are committing an offense. And I urge them not to buy these contraband goods. You buying these contraband goods makes you complicit, and under the customs regulation, you can and you will be charged when these are found. And now what we're doing is we're looking at, now since you are the person or the company or the shop that is buying these, we will not mitigate fines for you. We will take you to court, we will charge you, and you will be lined up on the media. And so please, do not buy contraband for your shops, or do not buy contraband, period, because when we go there and find it, you will be prosecuted to the extent of the law.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you both so much for coming in,
That's
Mr.
right.
Thompson, Mr. Menzies. We're going to get into our next break. Where our
Just before we do that, I got one quick thing here. All right. There's this family, the Duncan family in Pennsylvania. They said, they just love watch April. I said, man, that's so cool. So I just want to say good morning to them. That's Kirk and Julia Duncan. They're always tuned in. They're in Belize for the time being. But I meet her, I said,
welcome home.
Yeah, welcome home. Guys, thank you so very much. But
you guys, get into this
you ever do drag racing?
Yeah. What are the legal ramifications of drag racing?
Drag racing?
Drag racing.
Well, you never know.
No?
Stick
Yeah,
around.
find out.
Yeah, we're going to take the break. When we come back, it's all about drag racing. Mr. Dueck is going to join us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
With BL, it's always giving back to the community. Honestly, I believe that is one of the things that really touched me the most, that I am a part of a company that actually gives back in various ways. You know, BL has its Hamper Drive, its Golden Citizen program, you know, customer rewards. It's always touching to know that these people are getting back something.
Our Hamper Drive has been going on every year, and we have done this at the end of each year. So the wrapping is actually an exciting feeling because we know what is in the gifts. So when we reach the customers, they are like in shock because they are not aware of what we're doing. And we come and we explain to them that, you know, this is the time of giving, and many of the kids are surprised. They feel like Santa come around, and that's a good feeling for me. I personally do it with that motivation, and it gives me the drive to keep doing what I do.
We also do these, go around with different schools that need help with painting as well, right? So when you finish the entire work or the painting, you see the children, them smiling, like so appreciative of what you do for them. At the end of the day, they come and give you a warm hug. That feeling is absolutely the best feeling ever.
And BL, we are always looking at different areas where we can also give back. So it's a lot of giving back with BL, and that I am really proud of being a part of.
Today we're here shopping at B-Mart. Today we're making the green super smoothie. Let's master it.
The Social Security Board is proud to have served Belizeans in 2022.
Belize faced challenges such as the continuing COVID-19 pandemic and Hurricane Lisa. Our country's resilience and ability to persevere in adversity is the prevailing and unifying theme. Of our many organizational accomplishments in 2022, we are particularly proud of our commitment to impact the lives of Belizean citizens positively and continuously under our corporate social responsibility portfolio. As a responsible corporate citizen, SSB supported various societal partners to amplify progress in many communities and provided empowerment opportunities through scholarships, sports, education, and health. SSB recognizes that for societal change to abound, we must continue our integral efforts to drive change and contribute to causes in meaningful and impactful ways. Our community engagements will forever serve as the most meaningful moments for 2022. 2023 will be another transformational year for SSB. It will be a year of enhanced community engagement and outreach, and the rollout of additional service enhancements via the My Social Security self-service portal. We stand ready to continue our service to you. From the Board of Directors, management, and staff of the Social Security Board, we wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And welcome back, and we're moving now into our second segment for the morning. This one is all about driver's edge, drag racing.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I really didn't know.
No, it's a common sport, John. Well, that's what I'm told.
I know about cycling being a common sport or football being a common
Just like
sport.
these two sports, you have drag racing.
Drag racing, it's real. It's in Belize. Now, in to tell us all about it, we've got Delmer Dweck, who is the owner of Driver's Edge. That's my guy. And William Bowman, co-coordinator of Press Gas Car Show. Well, guys, good morning.
Car Show.
And welcome to both of you.
Good morning, and thanks for having us. Press Gas Car Show is like just an outlet for all car enthusiasts and everything like that. And so it's a way for us to have sanctioned events and avoid any kind of problems and issues with the
law.
The law, exactly. So giving young people and people who are really passionate about cars an opportunity to race and have fun against their rivals. You know, you guys can.
Is that community big? Like, there are a lot of people who into vehicles
I think
like
it's
that?
definitely growing. It's growing. It's been growing constantly. Delmer can elaborate some on that, but he was one of the original people that had a sports car and it was into racing and everything like that. So with him now, he's more matured into this car culture and everything. And as for the rest of us, I know there's a lot of people younger than me even coming up now that are starting to work and get money and everything that can afford to buy these nice sports cars now, and they want that outlet.
But what is initially, for me, when I think about drag racing, I think about Fast and the Furious, right? That's what I think about.
Which is Fast and the Furious is probably what started pretty much everything.
The entire,
especially for people in my generation.
I mean, I was in the U.S. when that movie first came out, so you know, the first 3 nights we drove around till we finally found out theater had it. So definitely that was one of the things that started everything. But for me, how this got started is, you know, we're talking about football and all these sports, right?
Yeah.
I was never good at any of those.
Oh my God!
I tried a volleyball team in primary school, never made a team. You know, I can't play football because I'm short. You know, and even basketball, I think I made the basketball team in high school but you know, like I said, I wasn't good at it. Finally, my friend told me, "Hey Delmer, you love the sport, but the sport just don't love you." So you know, I went up trying all these sports. I was never good at anything. And, you know, until I got started with cars.
How pool, man? I mean, you got to try a pool or darts or something.
A little bit something less dangerous, maybe?
So tell us about,
See, I guess that's a common conception, right? That it's dangerous. But really and truly, and yes, done under the wrong circumstances, it is dangerous. But so, you know, we've definitely, starting up, there was a certain amount of this activities that would not be recommended. But it wasn't long until we realized that this is something we really like. I mean, it is a sport. We all know that. I mean, you can watch TV, NHRA, the National Drag Racing Association in the USA and stuff. So we got organized, and we actually now have, it's pretty much a family. I mean, Club Motorsports, like Bowman said, I'm one of the founding members of that. It's a number of us guys, and we basically came together as a family, and we started, working on our cars, just hanging out, talking about cars, and that's how we got started. And eventually, up till now, we actually have these sanctioned events, which to us is something really valuable because it gives a legal outlet for these things. I mean, you spend all this money into building up your car, all your time, you want to show off. Yeah. So. And then you have this rivalry, and it really grows, as time goes on. And
but Del, that's dangerous. How do you guys? Oh my goodness!
Keep it safe.
How do you keep it safe?
Well, we have the necessary officials there. We have, for example, for Presgas Car Show this year, we had the Belmopan traffic officers there. We had a few police officers around as well to help help with crowd control, it's the crowd really that we're concerned about. And I mean, the drivers also have waivers that they need to sign and everything that are telling them that they're liable for any damages occurring to their own vehicles or to others. And so we make it as safe as we possibly can. But I can take this opportunity and reach out to the community itself and say, like, you guys, please stay on the sides of the road and everything. Stay out of the way when we're doing these races, and let's have it clean, let's have it fun, let's make it a family event.
Okay, so then break something down for me in terms of the rules of the sport. Just like how you have certain rules for basketball and football, there must be certain rules for the sport in terms of not just safety, but speeding and so on. So let's talk about how drag racing actually works.
Okay. In terms of rules, well, number one rule, we don't allow anybody to participate if they've been drinking, because it's an event and there's usually alcohol sold close by. But that's number one, is nobody that is consuming alcohol can participate in the races. So that's number one. We do have ambulances on site at the Press Gas Show. No, but in terms of races, I mean, it's pretty simple. You line up, once you have that arm drop, we go, and we don't put a limit as to.
I was going to ask, so is there like a speed limit?
Well, I mean, the goal is to outdo your opponent. So the faster you go, the better in this case. And we try to make sure, or try to ensure that the drivers have enough room to stop as well at the end of
so the race is a quarter-mile race. So in that quarter mile, you get to as fast as your car can. So you just all out, the better you shift. There's a lot of skill involved. First of all, it's how much you know about cars. You build your car, so that's one part of the sport, and then it's a driver's skill. So that quarter mile, no rules, except you car control and just go as fast as you can.
What about the driver? What kind of? I'm asking all these questions because I not trust myself to be a drag racer. Yes, I think I'm a good driver, but what other qualities or skills do I need to
be a drag race driver?
I think that naturally works out itself, because by the time you have, I mean, okay, you start with let's say a Honda Civic. Maybe you have a two-door Honda Civic and you say you have a sports car, and you want to get in with that, that's okay. But that car itself won't be able to go that fast to cause, to be a big danger. You can, you drive basically regular speeds. And then as you work on that car, as you build up to a faster car, you just the way you're working on the car. I mean, sorry.
I would say you basically know your car, and your driver skill grows with the amount of time you put in, the modifications that you add to your car. Your driver skill level grows with that. and then therefore you know your car. So when you're racing, you should be able to keep it in a straight line and you know, not have any issues unless there's some kind of failure, but which in that normally doesn't happen. That you know, people check their cars, they tune it, they make sure it's oiled up, everything before the show. So they try to mitigate any problems that could occur by servicing their vehicles before these shows occur, and then they come out and their driver skill shows.
So let's talk about the legality of this, because we know that it's a dangerous. It is a dangerous sport. Face the fact, man. We're in these vehicles, and these vehicles are going 100 miles an hour. You've got a quarter mile to do that. Then again, let's talk about where these races are actually happening. I think there was one on the Hummingbird Highway. That's one of the main veins or main arteries from traversing from the south into central, west, and so on, Belize. How do we race on these places, and how is it sanctioned to be legal?
Okay, well, for that one, that's a good question. But for that specific one that happened 3 weeks ago, it was fully sanctioned by the Minister of Transport, Rodwell Ferguson, and it was controlled by the National Transport Department and everything. And the portion of highway that they used was easily blocked off and easily navigated around, because there was a village road that normal drivers could use to come around the area that we were using. And so for some of the negative comments online saying that how we blocked off the highway and such like that, this isn't necessarily true, because these people who were waiting for the race to end never waited that long at all. And for example, I was there, so I could say that there was not a lot of traffic on the highway that day at all, period. Like, there was literally one or two vehicles passing by, and for example, an ambulance coming from west, so coming from Belmopan, and immediately everyone came off the road and let them through. So this was not an issue for us, and I believe with the help of the National Transport Department and everything, they really did a good job locking down that specific show and holding it in to be a safe, sanctioned event.
Will there ever be another one on the Hummingbird Highway?
I can't speak for that, because we were not the hosts of that one. That was another individual. But in terms of Prescott Car Show, this year was our 4th show, if I'm not mistaken, and we definitely plan on doing more. And we're hoping that Belmopan City Council allows us to do such and support us in terms of providing the necessary people to help us with crowd control and help us to have a clean show.
What is the necessary process that you all have to take in order to get these shows readily available for?
Yeah, for example, this year we had to go through a lot more processes than previous years. But for example, we had to get a signed letter from the person who owned the property that I believe you see in the video. And so we had to get a signed authorization letter from them, and then as well we had to get approval from the mayor in Belmopan, and you know, we had to go to the police department and have them send them a letter to petition this, and then once they gave us approval and said yes, then we made our contributions to the right departments and to everyone, and then they came out and helped us out with that.
When is the next race? I mean, it sounds interesting. I'd like to see a vehicle go some miles per hour. So when is the next? When is the next?
I believe the Prescott is planning one probably for early next year sometime.
I believe so. We haven't set a date as yet.
Or a venue?
Or a venue. It's usually on Queen Elizabeth Boulevard there. But for sure we're working on getting a new venue at least. We're trying to work on getting a new venue, but it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough finding a suitable road, a suitable strip of road that's long enough and also wide enough for us to
house these
do
two
cars versus...
Because what I saw there in Belmopan, it's a very good spot, because then you know that the vehicles, they could never collide because they're separated by a different side of the road. Now, I got to understand you guys are actually looking at Belize City as a possible venue.
We're open for any, like we said, we're looking for straight stretches of road that are long enough to have the race and safe stopping distance. Of course, low traffic or alternative routes around the area.
Okay.
Our goal definitely is not to stop traffic. That's not what we want. If we could find a way to, or if there were investors out there that would want to build a dedicated racing facility, I mean, of course, that would be ideal, but you know that the chances of that happening are not that high yet. Although as William was saying, the scene is growing. And the crowds are growing as well.
Yeah.
So that is one of our biggest challenges, is our controlling of the crowds, and you know, because everybody it gets exciting out there.
Can I just say, you know what? I heard that there is a drag race going on maybe Princess Margaret Drive, and I want to test out my vehicle. Do I register? What do I have to do to be a part of that race?
Yeah, definitely. We go through our entire registration process for the Prescott Car Show specifically. We send out waivers and everything for the drivers to sign. We have them commit to different categories and everything like that, and then we just try to have an announcer there to let them know like when it's time to line up, when it's time to start, and again, it's just crowd control. So once we have everyone off the streets, we can begin.
So I could just sign up on the day?
On the day?
Yeah, you can sign up on the day. Usually they know beforehand. So they will call us too and ask questions, see what they need and everything. But yeah, usually right on the day, they come, they sign their registration forms, and we proceed.
And then how many vehicles normally, how many races per show?
This last one, I think, was one of our biggest turnouts, to be honest with you, this 2022 show. And,
a lot of new players on the scene.
Yeah, a lot of new people. I'm excited too.
This was the first year we had an all-electric EV vehicle come out there. and
actually.
Yeah. So, you know, you have these two EVs lining up, and you hear the birds chirping, you know, because
they make no noise.
He's setting up the scene for us.
Yeah, but they're silent. Those electric vehicles hardly make any engine noise. Or they don't have an engine, period. So they're just like, you just hear a gust of wind past you.
But besides vehicle, there's also the Ninja bikes, and there are also the toy cars. Tell us about those.
The what cars, you said?
The little toy cars. Remote control cars, sir.
RC cars had their little segment at the show. They were kind of cut off this year by the bikes, but to be honest with you, the bike scene is far different from the car scene and the car culture, because they have their own set of rules in a sense, and they can fit into tight spaces or fit through barricades. So if you notice there on the video on the screen, sometimes they're passing up and down on the road, and to be honest with you, they're sanctioned bike shows that they have, and they never invite the car scene guys out.
So there is a rivalry.
So when they come to our show, we try to incorporate everyone, and we try to have it as fun and as good for every
I'm looking at these videos and so on, and I guess so what is a car? Because I'm seeing like an ATV situation happening.
That would be considered part of the biker crowd.
Okay, even though they have four wheels.
Yeah, because it's not a
cars are usually they usually class them with different categories. You know, 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder, and then you have the free for all, because there's 4-cylinder out there that is running with the 8 cylinders. You know,
really?
It's force induction. How much, you know, again, the amount of work you put into the engine. In fact, the two top, I don't know if the video was playing earlier, but the two top players right now that were out there the other day were the EV and the Skyline.
Yeah, that one right there.
That Skyline right
this white vehicle?
And GTR, yeah. That's one of the fastest
That
in
car
the country.
was the fastest in the country for a long time now. Apparently there's a newer Skyline that just came into the country, so you know there's this rivalry that keeps building up. So they had the newer Skyline beat the older one in one race. So of course now the owner of the white one, he wants to go back to the drawing board, do some more work.
They want to do that again.
But we don't want to do this on a street where no kind of officiating.
It's not suitable for.
Exactly. So we always look forward to these events where we can call each other out and say, hey, I want to run you, I want to run you.
Oh, that's how I call it. But so let's talk about how a particular race goes. Now, if I in the first race my vehicle win, that's it for me for the day, or do I have to go back
Usually we
into?
do best out of 3.
Yeah.
Usually we do best out of 3 because we have a lot of prizes that we give out, and to be honest with you, Press Gas has been the only car show this year at least that has given out any sorts of grand prizes and stuff like that.
Cash prize?
Cash prize was one of them for
What's the biggest
fastest
you
car.
ever
We gave away $1,000 this year.
Hell.
Yeah.
Now you go fix your car?
So gosh, you
upgrade, get a turbo and
That's
everything.
a down payment on the turbo?
Yeah, that's your down payment on a turbo.
So what would be the cost for a
$4,000.
turbo for something that makes your vehicle much more faster?
Delmer with definitely
numbers.
We were here.
Throw some figures at
I mean,
them.
the amount of money that goes into these cars is insane, which is one of the reasons why, to me, attests to the legitimacy of it, because these are not just young kids just doing reckless stuff.
It's not a taxi, is it?
It's not a taxi.
No, that
Oh,
is
you know,
that
the
is a
license number
Subaru. That was a Subaru WRX. He was top for a long time.
No.
Then he got thrown out. So he's yeah. That's all-wheel drive.
We had a year where I think it was the prior show. This was before COVID, so 2019, if I'm not mistaken. We did have a taxi driver run, but he came and he registered and everything, and he just wanted to run for fun. So
he runs in his class. He looked for somebody that's
faced
within
up
his class.
challenged other 4-cylinder cars and in his Corolla, and he was.
So how do I judge who's in my class?
We would know because the drivers would come, and when they fill out the form, they inform us, okay, this is a forced induction 4-cylinder, or it's naturally aspirated, meaning no turbo, no supercharger, nothing like that. And then we just put them together in fair categories that we feel that they can actually have competition rather than one just straight up beating the other one, you know. We try to make it tight races so that it's more entertaining for the crowd.
I want to go back to the intricacies of fixing the car, and I ask that because I think that primarily our viewers, like John rightfully mentioned, need to understand the sport itself. We think it's dangerous. You all definitely are enthusiasts, so I'm pretty sure you see it a different way. But how do you ensure your viewers and the persons that go to watch that it's okay?
There's always a certain amount of risk. I mean, we can't deny that, and we do accept that. As far as it being safe, a car, once it's, we don't push cars beyond their limits. So you have to, when you build your car, let's say you're building it to go fast, you have to fix your brakes as well. Your suspension has to be improved. So while there can never be a zero risk, I don't think any sport is zero risk. I mean, we have
You're
people,
right. You're totally right.
Yeah, because even sports like basketball.
So if we see a car coming out there and you know, the wheels are slanted sideways, we know his ball joints are out, we will probably not allow them to run because their suspension isn't good enough. So the vehicle has to be in proper shape.
Do you have somebody to test that? Well, not to test, but to observe and to check out the vehicle and to make sure it's okay.
While we don't really do specific safety inspections, most of them, like we kind of know the cars. Everybody, we know the cars, and if we know the car is on a higher level, then generally, like any car we're talking about are really coming out there, you know, we call the big boys. We will probably have seen that car. We'll probably have inspected the car, or somebody will have been involved with working with that car, so we will know that that car is safe. Whereas some of the beginners, they won't be going that fast in the first place. So.
Well then, John, you have to go try it out. I'll be standing and making sure that all is well on your end.
Look, the most I've done with drag racing would be back in the days of PG, the polecat. And the race.
I believe that.
Yeah. Drag race.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say overtaking cars on the highway.
Oh, no, sir. No.
But apart from drag racing, because we're winding down now, I know that go-karting is also a part of the Belize Motor Club sports. So let's talk about the other sports and aspects that are underneath your club.
Okay, so I have not been involved with that part. I think it's Caribbean Tires that's sponsoring a big part of that.
They had
so
some
I think there is
there.
one of the guys from Club Motorsports that has been involved. I have not, I'm sorry, so I wouldn't be able to say much about that one.
Okay.
But it is something that I fully support, and I'm glad to see it happening. We have young kids learning, these high skill driving, which is really good, and they'll probably be the ones who will beat everybody else in the future.
How do you source your parts? In the event you go through,
I'm pretty sure most of these guys that have modified cars in the country are all outsourcing their parts and ordering everything and shipping them in. Yeah, well, we just have customs, but these guys definitely pay their duty.
Yeah,
they pay their duty and their taxes coming in. I mean, these are a lot of the guys. For example, the guy with the R33 GTR, the white one, he's a business owner, so he definitely pays his country taxes and everything. So he can be allowed.
So in order
to have
for you to
nice
do
car.
this sport, you have to be able to afford the sport as
yes,
well.
of course.
Yeah, so it's a very costly one.
Yes, for sure. Because parts break all the time. So
yeah, it is a costly sport. There's a saying that goes on, and get your kids involved with car racing, they'll never have money for drugs.
Delmer, that's something else too. But you're totally right, and it gets your kids into any additional sporting activity. And I know you're saying, I know it's a car racing simply because you have to buy their parts. Yeah, they'll never be.
No, it is a constructive activity. It's stimulating the mind. You have to study. You have to read constantly. You're reading up on parts and studying your vehicle, and really and truly, that is how I became. The career I followed now is I had a car that gave a lot of trouble, and I always wanted it to go faster, and the more I modified it, the more trouble it gave.
Oh my God.
So constantly working on it, which is where I learned mechanics to the point where I now have driver's edge.
Nice.
So
what kind of car you have downstairs? Is that one of the fast ones? No.
A 4-door Honda Civic.
even me myself, I haven't jumped into the racing scene as yet, but
So you just manage.
I just have an everyday daily car. I just have a regular daily reliable car, but eventually I definitely want to upgrade. For sure. I want to get a 2-seater sports car and start joining these races instead of just being a co-coordinator and organizing it. I want to be a part of it.
As we conclude our conversation this morning, what is next for Driver's Edge Drag Racing Club Motorsports?
Growth. I really hope that the car culture keeps growing and that more and more people get into this and are willing to come out and participate. Because I mean, like just in the last year, we've seen, for example, a Dodge Charger Hellcat come into the country, and that's a 700 horsepower car from the factory. So it's growing and it's getting there. People are buying nicer cars, modifying them, and bringing them to Belize. So I'm hoping that it gets better and better as the years go by.
Any international racing done in Belize?
We've been speaking to international parties as well to come out, and they seem pretty excited. But again, these guys are from Honduras, Guatemala, and such like that. So I don't know if they would be able to make it, although we would tell them in advance, but I'm hoping that a few of them do come out, especially in this upcoming 2023 year, that they come out and show off what they have in their country as well.
Okay. And yearly, how many races normally take place?
As much as we can fit within the time slot.
Once a quarter, somewhere around there.
So far, it's been like 1 or 2 a year the most.
Oh, wow. Well, you have to prepare. That's
events.
why.
In terms of events, I thought you meant in terms of races per event.
Yeah, it's not a common event, and I think that's why maybe the turnout is so large, because when we talk about this and we put the news out there, people are excited.
All right.
And
wow.
Delmer, and William. You guys, man.
I think John has a brand new perspective.
Well, I hope to see John at the next show.
Because I didn't know that it existed to this magnitude in the country. We've heard about it. I think we've had on the show people talking about drag racing, but never to the magnitude and the passion of which you guys are actually talking about.
Thanks.
We want to thank you, man. Thank you, Delmer. And thank you, William, for being a part of today's show.
Yes, thank you very much for having us. And we also do want to put a thank you to Minister Rodwell Ferguson for
the last show.
Yeah, for supporting that, and we look forward to some more support. The more support we have, the safer it can be.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks to Belmopan City Council and all of Pressgas's sponsors. We appreciate you guys, and thank you for allowing us to have shows like this.
What do you say, April, we race to a commercial break?
Let's race to a commercial break. We'll be right back with Cash Expressions and New Year's Jewelry. Stay tuned.
friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word.
The Bible says the Lord directs the steps of the godly. He delights in every detail of their lives. Though they stumble, they will never fall, for the Lord holds them by the hand. Often I am asked, how are you doing, Brother Bob? And sometimes I humorously answer, I'm okay, just taking my pills and preaching the gospel and doing all I can to stay out of heaven. Surprised, they say, Brother Bob, you really don't mean that. I think most of us would agree that there's more fact than fiction in the statement. Otherwise, we would not go to the doctors as we do, take all the medication we take, and spend as much time praying for one another to be healed. Do we not go to the doctor with hopes of being healed? William J. Mayo said the aim of medicine is to prevent disease and prolong life. Andy Rooney once said it's paradoxical that the idea of living a long life appeals to everyone, but the idea of getting old doesn't appeal to anyone. W.M. Lewis said it best. The tragedy of life is not that it ends so soon, but that we wait so long to begin it. A man 90 years old was asked what he attributed his longevity to. I reckon, he said with a twinkle in his eye, it is because most nights I went to bed and slept when I should have sat up and worried. Abraham Lincoln once said, it's not the years in your life that count, but the life in your years. So whether young or old, live each day holding to God's unchanging hand.
Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Hello eCash user, the eCash app is now available in Spanish. Changing the language in your eCash app from English to Spanish is quick and easy. Let me walk you through the steps. First, open your eCash app. Enter your PIN. Tap the More icon at the bottom of your screen. Choose Security. Select Language. Tap on Spanish. Then re-enter your PIN. And that's it! Your eCash app is now in Spanish, and you can continue to enjoy your eCash digital wallet. Belize Bank's eCash app makes life easier.
Welcome back. Just like that, we're back, and I have to make sure that I already have
spruce yourself up just a little bit? Okay.
Because not anybody is in with us. Therese is in with us. Now we're talking jewelry for the New Year's, and we know that when it comes to New Year, especially
I love my earrings. I love my jewelry. I can't
all
wait.
the parties that will be happening, you want to make sure that you are impressing, and you do that with all the sparkling. And nobody has it like
Cash
expression.
You
Therese
said it
Johnson
right.
is in with us. She's the operation manager at Cash Expression. T, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh my God, you're
Thanks for having us.
I love it. Watch your friends, you come in.
Thank you. Thanks
You
for
look
having
great.
us. Thank you.
Let's talk about Cash Expressions, and then we'll jump on into what's going to happen for the New Year's. Tell us
Sure.
about Cash Expressions.
Well, first of all, I'm here with good news, excellent news rather. A long anticipated Cash Expressions now has a branch here in Belize City.
Oh, wow.
So yes, we're
It's about
here.
time.
I know, it is about time. I mean, majority of our supporters are Belize City. This is the hub. I mean, usually around Christmas time, it's a lot of Tropic Air packages, a lot of BPMS packages, which we still have this year, but it's been cut down drastically because people can now come in,
Into the
you know, and shop personally for their loved ones or themselves. Try on, you know, look at their options, different colors. So it's been a great experience having to do that.
So now with Cash being in Belize City, this is now the third location of Cash Expression.
Actually, it's the fourth.
Fourth? I'm missing one.
Yes, our locations, originally we started in Placencia,
Yes.
and then we had a branch open in San Ignacio, and then in Keycocker, and then this is our, our last store for
What's
now.
that feel like? I mean, you know, for the most part, you'd see business popping up, and then you are not foreseeing branching off until after a few. But for the fourth now spot that you guys are actually open, what's the feeling like from the business?
It's amazing, and I know I've been on this journey with Khadija. This has been a dream for her to open in Belize City. But it's always been progressive, as you know, slowly she's building, and she's opened a store where she was located. She was living in Placencia, and that's how that started. Then she moved to Cayo. So wherever she is, she basically, you know, she's working from there. So she opens a store. And it's been an amazing experience looking at your progress and seeing how your business is growing as an entrepreneur. So it's been amazing for her, you know.
Cash is known for her gold-filled jewelry and the intricate and unique designs, right?
Yes.
And not just with gold-filled, but she also worked with lionfish, and she works with all of these other products.
Yes.
So now that she has her store in Belize City, what separates this branch from the others?
Well, we're doing things bigger and better. This is, like I said, her dream store, so to speak, and it's a work in progress. We're still, you know, evolving every day to make it nice. We're bringing in new gemstones, new stones. One I'm wearing actually right now, I came to feature, is called the Inca Rose. Yes, it's the Inca Rose, and I would love to have people pay a very special attention to that name because later on we will be giving away something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the opportunity that they can come in and personalize a gift for someone or for themselves because the designer is physically there. You know, usually you can do that anywhere, but Khadija is actually there. So what we're going to be doing is having people come in and, you know, once we don't have a lot of orders or so, they can actually wait in store for their item and leave, and we will create something that they, you know, hand pick with different jewels and different crystals, and they can walk out with a finished product.
Oh my
You know,
God.
it's not anywhere in Belize that can do that.
You'll find that,
You'll find that you can choose your crystal and choose your stone and put it together and make something that's so uniquely you. You know, so that is definitely how we stand apart in terms of the other stores, because she will physically be there, you know, which you can do that at the others, but it just takes longer.
Yeah.
So that's the advantage for sure.
And in terms of what is new at Cash Expressions, what are some new jewelries apart from the Inca Rose that we can look forward to?
So this Christmas we decided to try spanking new dazzling shimmer wire.
Okay.
It's the first time we are using this material, and I can say it's been an absolute hit. The amount of requests we've gotten we are sold out of it, as a matter of fact, but we have people on a waiting list for this particular ring. Actually, we made a lot of different things out of the wire. We made earrings, we made bangles, but the ring seems to be the hit. You know, it's our classic design for a bangle, and I shared a photo, you know, for all tuning in, they can see the photo. we basically wrap them with 2 of the gold balls, and then it comes with a shimmer wire wrapped in it.
There we go.
Yes, that's the ring in particular. Yes, and it's been such a hit, and we had everybody on our wait list, and we've been telling them, you know, we won't be getting a new stock until the end of January, come February. But I'm here with excellent news.
Talk to it.
We had an opportunity to get some before that. So by next week, we should be having some more.
Oh.
So for all those tuning in and you know, you didn't get to, you know, get that special ring, then you can come back next week and check with us. Actually, before then you can come put your name on the waiting list, because they will go fast.
So
put your name on that list, yes. Whether message us or call or come to the store.
And this is for any of your locations?
Yes, they can order it anywhere, or, you know, online, or come to the store and order it. So, yes.
So and then, so what are people actually going for the most in there besides? Because if we didn't know there was this
shimmer
wire, la la la.
Yeah.
So what are people actually flocking to?
It's interesting because, you know, everybody has their own unique style.
Yeah.
But I have to say the other favorite item would be our name chains. That's like one of our signature products and treasures. So, you know, and it's so customized that it's your name or your pet name or your spouse's name or, you know, or a nickname of some kind. You know, it's so uniquely you. You know, so that's definitely a favorite.
Yeah.
The name chains, yes.
Yeah.
And we do them in twisted wire or smooth. And people can still get them right now. Right now, orders, we're taking orders, but they'll be ready for January 13th.
Oh.
Yes.
So
and not just those.
Can't get my April 1 today.
I mean, today. but what I'm saying is basically, I mean, you can come in and not just the name chains, but you could customize anything. I mean, if April, for example, had a special stone from a loved one or from some adventure that she found, something that you'd like to make into a wearable piece, you can bring it in.
Are you kidding?
Yes, and we will work with it if it's possible. You know, we also, with precious stones and stuff, we are very careful not to drill and crack and stuff. So once it's workable, we can make it into something wearable.
So folks should understand that if you've got this piece that you would like to be wearable, or you found it reminds you of somebody, I could take that down to Kaj and we could get something.
And we have a lot of experiences like that people do that, you know, and that's the beauty of customized jewelry, you know. So it's an awesome experience that they can walk around and remember that whatever it is, a stone, something that they can make into wearable art.
And how, I mean, let's talk price point in certain areas, because I have to ask, you know, for my peoples, how much would a name chain value it?
Okay, so we start at $125 basically for 4 letters, and I mean everybody's name is, you know, different. It depends on how long, but
5 letters.
Yes, it can definitely. Yes, if you are interested, anybody listening, I mean, message us and we'll give you a quotation, and it's as easy as that, and you place your order.
So you could actually go online and ask your questions and find out the price points.
Yes, we have a very great team. We love our Kaj Expressions team. Our staff works very hard to make it all happen, especially over the Christmas, to make everybody be able to have a gift to open on Christmas Day, because it's tough with handmade jewelry. It's not stuff that you can buy at a store and just put them on the shelves, you know. You're literally there behind the scenes working and jamming, you know. So it's all handmade, and it's handmade with love. And our team does a very great job, so we're very grateful to them,
and
you know,
so
for that.
In terms of your new location, because I mean that is the buzz.
Yes.
In terms of Kaj, where is the new location?
Yes. So we are located at number 56 Eve Street, and it's directly across from where the old Belize City Hospital used to be. So I mean, that was a landmark, and it still is, so to speak, you know. So it's very, very easy to find.
Yeah, I was born there. Yeah.
I think a lot of us can see.
What's me, you know, get a April 1, lad. But so right there in front of the old Belize City Hospital, exactly where you could find Kaj Expression.
The lower flat just across the street. It's easy to find, and you will see us there.
Holiday time, opening hours.
Opening hours. So basically, we have asked our audience and our customers to basically let us know what works for them. We've tailored our opening hours for them. We put out a poll and people, you know, were commenting, and that's what we do. We cater to everyone. So nice. We are opening from 10 to 6, but for the Christmas we were opening up until 7 because of the rush and all of that, you know. So we were very accommodating with having people come after work and during the lunch break. So 10 to 6 is our opening hours for now, yes.
And Terry, you said you had another exciting surprise for us. So talk to us.
Yes. So, well, first of all, a surprise for you, John.
Are you kidding?
And for you,
nice.
April.
So nice. Oh, and it has a little heart
and
too.
And it has our names on it.
You mean why that, April? No, for real.
Everything is made with love. That's why we have
it. Are we allowed to open it?
Sure, by all means.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
You mean why that, April? All right, so let's do it. This is so nice.
Oh wow. Okay. So we can go shopping.
Yes.
We've been shopping, so you could get me my necklace now.
So for all those at home who cannot see, basically, I also want to make note they got gift certificates. We offer gift certificates at our store, and it's an excellent way to say thank you to someone, to that hard worker, or that cousin. You're welcome. Our pleasure. You know, to that cousin or that mom, and you just don't know what to get them. You know, we've had people come in and they're not sure what. I wonder if they like it. I don't know if they like it. You know, you can get that and they can come in and choose what they like, you know.
That's true.
Yes. And it starts from $20. I mean, it's very affordable.
Yeah.
And it goes up from there.
Yeah. Genuinely handmade right here at home in Belize with love.
Belize.
Starting at only $20.
Yes.
Wow.
And up.
But you have a surprise for John, you had a surprise for me, and you also have a surprise for...
For one lucky viewer, listener out there, you get to come in and choose some special pieces from us as well.
But what do they have to do?
So basically, if you're tuning in, I mentioned that we have a special, I'm wearing a special stone. And I say special, it's because it's a unique piece from Argentina. And Khadija is half Argentinian, so a lot of people don't know that. She actually, like, physically went to Argentina to, like, handpick these pieces, and they were not finished product like this.
Wow.
It was the actual stone, and, you know, she went through the process to have them, you know, make them into shapes and work with them. And she videoed the whole thing and shared it as part of her experience on Instagram and Facebook, because that's what she does. We are so big on having our customers look at our products from the beginning to the end and everywhere in between.
That's
beautiful.
Yes. So the first person to answer the question on our Facebook page.
What's the name of the stone?
What's the name of the stone that I am wearing?
All right, viewers, so log on into Open Your Eyes BZ Facebook
we already have a winner
in our live stream. We already have a winner?
Yeah, we do.
Wow.
We already have a winner.
Nice.
So so now that we have our winner, where do they go to pick up their?
So they can come to the store and come pick up their gift certificate from us personally, and of course, you know, they get to come and see it and check out the new store at the same time, you know, and shop.
So Golden Bay is here.
Yes.
And your store is right.
Yes.
Just
painted baby blue or white?
Very easy to find.
That baby blue.
Very easy to find.
That baby blue, right?
That baby blue or white?
It's white. One of Khadija's, that's a stone, and each piece is so uniquely different. I will mention that no two pieces are the same, and that's what makes it so unique.
Right.
You know,
beautiful.
You don't have a winner, and I guess we'll announce it. Okay.
You want to announce it?
No, we'll announce it.
Here we go. Oh, after the break. All right.
Yeah, I just want to mention also to everybody just tuning in again our locations.
Yes.
And our present location in Belize City, because you know everybody tunes in at different times.
Yes.
56 Eve Street is our location.
Right there.
Very easy to find across the street from the old Belize City Hospital. And we have locations in Placencia, San Ignacio, Keycocker, and now Belize City. Proud to say Belize City.
That's beautiful.
So yes, you can shop
all
with us.
over the country, and you will no longer need to be shipping from Chapakir and shipping from, you just go right into.
And the convenience of obviously, you know, sending a message on WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram, also that's the convenience these days, you know. And, you know, make an online deposit and we ship it to you as well if you're not able to come in store for any reason. But that's the idea. It's so convenient. Let us know what works for you, you know.
Prices as low as $20 for genuine made Belizean handmade stuff.
And a lot of people come in and ask, you know, will it, you know, is this Fantasia? Is it Brazilian gold? Like, yeah,
can I bathe with it?
Can I bathe with it? Will it hurt my ear? That's like one of the biggest questions we get. And I can personally say, and I tell them, you know, I'm super sensitive with what I wear. You know, I get an allergic reaction if it's not something silver or gold. And before Khadija even started her business, you know, I was the guinea pig.
Oh, God.
So she would say to her, you know, tell me how this is holding up. And I have an earring for over 12 years, and it's still shiny. It's still, I mean, I still rock it. It's one of my favorite, like, go-to thing, and it still holds up well, and it's, you know, it doesn't bother me in any way because they're 14-karat gold fill, and this is what I tell each customer that comes in that has that question. You know, people work hard for their money. They want to know that they're getting value for money, and she doesn't take that, you know, lightly. She wants to. She's so meticulous about the quality that she puts out. You know, even she has to begin something again if it's not working out.
Yeah.
You know, and
that has been her though.
Yeah,
it's
and that's why she's thriving.
Indeed.
Thank you, Ter. Thank you, Ter. Thank you to Kaj Expressions for opening up in Belize City, and we wish you all the very best of luck with this new venture.
I would just like to say two quick things before we leave. For those listening and would like to an opportunity to work with us.
Oh,
yes, we're building our team, and we have two openings at this time.
Let's go.
Yes.
This one jewelry.
One the Placencia, one the Kikaga.
Oh, you got the Kikaga one.
Yes, so if you're a vibrant person that, you know, believes in having a strong career and, you know, goal-oriented, trustworthy, please reach out to us. Operations@kajexpressions.com is the email to send your resume. Sooner rather than later, because we're hiring very soon at the Placencia and the Kikaga branches, yes. And I'd like to take the opportunity also to say, you know, Christmas was amazing in terms of having the support and love to you know, from everyone coming into the store. And even if they came in, they just said, you know, congratulations on the new store and the hard work. And it's been a journey getting to this point. It's not all, you know, glitter and glam, you know, but it's been early mornings. And if you tune in, you see Khadija at 3 a.m. making jewelry, at 6 a.m. making jewelry, restocking. It's been tough to get where we are. So thank you for the support, thank you for the love, and Happy New Year. Come get that you know, dazzling new set of jewelry. To, you know, everybody wants to bling for the new year. And
everybody wants
start the year with some
year.
sparkle. So come and find that special piece. We would absolutely love to find it, that special piece that would match that outfit. And people come in and they bring a picture. Help me, what could match this? And we absolutely enjoy the process. So come in and, you know, let us be a part of that experience for you.
Ter.
Great.
Thank you.
She make us feel so warm and cozy.
She done wrapped the show.
Yeah, you wrapped it up for us. Thank you so very much.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to take our final break of the morning, and when we come back, we'll be wrapping things up. Stay with us. We'll be back.
With BL, it's always giving back to the community. Honestly, I believe that is one of the things that really touched me the most, that I am a part of a company that actually gives back in various ways. You know, BL has its Hamper Drive, its Golden Citizen program, you know, customer rewards. It's always touching to know that these people are getting back something.
Our Hamper Drive has been going on every year, and we have done this at the end of each year. So the wrapping is actually an exciting feeling because we know what is in the gifts. So when we reach the customers, they are like in shock because they are not aware of what we are doing. And we come and we explain to them that, you know, this is the time of giving, and many of the kids are surprised. They feel like Santa come around, and that's a good feeling for me. I personally do it with that motivation, and it gives me the drive to keep doing what I do.
We also do these, go around with different schools that need help with painting as well, right? So when you finish the entire work or the painting, you see the children, them smiling, like so appreciative of what you do for them. At the end of the day, they come and give you a warm hug. That feeling is absolutely the best feeling ever.
And BL, we are always looking at different areas where we can also give back. So it's a lot of giving back with BL, and that I am really proud of being a part of.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
As 2022 draws to an end, we celebrate this Christmas season with all the joy, excitement, and merriment of the holidays. Design Depot extends a sincere thank you for your continuous support and patronage throughout the year. We look forward to serving you with our ongoing commitment to customer satisfaction and quality service in 2023 and beyond. May you and your loved ones have a safe, enjoyable Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Design Depot, all in one place.
Did you know that there's a way to protect yourself from getting the hepatitis B virus?
If left untreated, hepatitis B can cause chronic liver infection and put people at a high risk of death.
Fortunately, a safe and effective vaccine for hepatitis B is available for everyone.
Hepatitis B is not only life-threatening, but highly infectious.
It is spread through contact with blood and other bodily fluids from an infected person.
Common modes of infection include mother-to-child transmission during birth, having sex without a condom, using unsterilized tattoo or piercing equipment, or even sharing razors, washcloths, or toothbrushes.
Remember, a tiny amount of blood, too small to see, is enough to infect you with hepatitis B.
There is no cure for hepatitis B, and symptoms often do not present themselves early, so many people might not know they are infected. The only way to know is to get tested.
So talk to your healthcare provider about getting tested and vaccinated to protect yourself and others from hepatitis B.
Everyone is potentially at risk of being infected, so don't wait to vaccinate.
Visit any healthcare facility countrywide to speak with a healthcare provider about getting tested and vaccinated for hepatitis B.
Let's celebrate Christmas together with Smart's amazing season deals. Check out our showrooms and get deals for as low as $99 and get free credit, SMS, and data. If you already have a phone, you can join the Smart family. Swap your SIM and get a free SIM plus $100 promo credit. Get 50% off your first and second month when you sign up for selected postpaid plans. That's a promotion you know I miss. Free not done with Smart. Get free installation and 1 month free when switching from another internet provider. Plus, with every SIM swap, device purchase, broadband or postpaid sign up, you automatically get entered into our raffle for a chance to win a Samsung S22, a year free Smart broadband, or $500 cash. Make it one Christmas together, only with Smart. Smart management and staff, thank you tremendously for all the love you shared during the year. We look forward to serving you as you power your dollar in 2023.
And we're back.
Welcome back. Just like that, we've come to the end of things for today. We had a great time.
We did. The conversations were definitely. These are the types of shows that I enjoy, John. Where I don't know nothing about drag racing, but I learned
a lot.
The
expensive. That's the most important thing. Very expensive.
And of course, I learned. We learn certain processes when it comes to customs contraband, what to do, what not to do, what's legal, what's not legal. And I think we need to continue having, particularly around the customs conversation, more conversations.
People need to understand, April, that when you contraband goods, you might feel you're not going to feel the effects of that until later on. So you might reap the sweets there and then, but the effects of it are much more severe than you think, because the contraband in our country is a $10 million loss to our economy. $10 million annually is lost, but people fail to realize that once you pay your taxes, you contribute to your economy. You have to pay your taxes, and once you do that, that's how your country look better. That's how education become much more easier for you. That's how everything become much more easier for you, because you're actually contributing, and it's a trickle-down effect. Once you do that, and I've got to say kudos to the Customs Department for the fact that they are doing a great job in making sure that people do their part, because they are doing their part. Thank you, the Customs Department.
I love that, John. And of course, we wrap things up with Kaj Expressions, that wonderful jewelry piece. They have their new location on Eve Street right here in Belize City. Doors are already open. They open at 10 o'clock in the mornings. And we all know Kaj. We know her. We love her. This is her 4th storefront. And of course, we congratulate her, and we can't wait to see what more she does.
Yep. And we did do a giveaway.
We did do a giveaway.
Yeah, we did a giveaway, and it was an easy one. What was the name of the newest stone, which is what? Inca stone?
Inca stone.
Inca stone, and it's so beautiful all the way from Argentina. It's
gorgeous.
I'm so glad that that Kaj now are able to, if you've got a piece that resembles something, reminds you of somebody, you found it, it just reminds you of something good, then you could also take that piece in, they'll fix something up. The winner is none other than Emilio Grajales. Elio. E-L-I-O. Elio Grajales. You are the lucky winner of this, well, not a piece, it's actually a gift certificate from Kaj Expression. Congratulations to you. Go on down to their Eve Street branch, because I know the Grajales scroll in the Raytella City.
We know our loyal viewers, trust me.
I'll tell you, they didn't rate ya. So you guys go on down to Eve Street at Kaj Expression, and you take along your ID and you pick up your stuff, your gift certificate. They've got
beautiful pieces, beautiful pieces. But of course, we got to wrap things up.
We've got to go. It was a great time. It's unfortunate that I won't be here for the last show of the year, so I'd like to say
we will miss you.
Yeah, happy Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. We're going to see you bright and early in April. Well, I'm going to see you bright and early in April. Once again, Happy New Year. If you've got questions, concerns, your birthday shout out, then drop us a line at OIE@channel5belize.com.
And of course, you can catch our live stream where you can win fabulous prizes, just like the one we gave away today at Open Your Eyes BZ on Facebook. And check out all of our highlights on Instagram at OIE Belize.
All right, and of course, make sure that you keep your keep your eyes.
You tune in tomorrow and you open your eyes. To start your morning, right?
You know, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Oh my goodness! Sometimes it's slippery here per month, you know.
Okay. Have a safe day, Belize.
Yeah, make sure that you enjoy your day, and remember, it's always a great day to be great. And we're coming down to the end of the year, and let's try to make it as best as possible.
Lovely.
Bye bye. We're gonna see you again soon.
Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize